Okay, but I get that. The thing about it, though, is it's so far back on a lot. Like, they bought all of this acreage. It's so far back on the lot. Get a fucking life, you nerds. Come on. Like, if you want to see the Cullen House, watch the fucking movies. It's like, no, I drove all the way just so I could go and see the Cullen House. You need therapy.
I don't disagree with that. At the same time, I have no sympathy for the people who bought it. None whatsoever. You knew what you were buying when you bought it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's also like, okay, wouldn't you want to be in, like, the Hargreaves house?
No, because it's just going to fall down on me because I've seen the future and it doesn't work out. So, no, I don't want to live in there.
Prime, would you like to see?
I want to live in Klaus's room under Klaus's body. Yes. Alive.
It's like if there were a real life Bob's Burgers and you bought it and then you told fans not to come.
Okay.
You're not allowed to be here, okay?
I feel like that's so extreme because you have a restaurant. I mean, you have an obligation to open it now. Like, I really think that. But like the Cullen House, no, it is. I mean, it's technically it's a home. It's a home. How about people, twihards, you fucking morons? And I say this with deep respect because I am also a huge fan of Twilight. Stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck home. And yes, it'd be different with the Hargreaves house because obviously that takes up how many square blocks? And it's technically in the city, which is not New York. It's fictional. They didn't actually build it. So I would not want to be there.
All right, but wasn't there a mansion on the show that it was also in, like, Happy Gilmore?
Fuck. Klaus's Cove House.
Now, would you tell people they're not allowed to go there?
No, actually, people can go there. You can actually go there and take your picture there. But that's because nobody lives there. Now, if I bought it...
then you just try and tell fans not to come?
I would just say Robert Sheehan can come over anytime he likes. And anyone that was a cult member in the episode, yes, he can come over too.
But again, you'd get only Sandler fans because they're the only ones who...
Oh, you're right. You take the good, you take the bad.
Oh no! Don't do it, please.
You take them both.
No, that'll get in my head.
There you have.
No, I had to.
The facts of life.
Oh God.
The facts of life.
All day today, I played. So we got these. There was this guy who was on a radio show, and I had to play a clip from his show, and his song is called Walmart Drip.
I hate it. I fucking hate the name already.
He's singing it's a parody song about how people, rednecks, dress in Walmart drip.
How sad is it that I thought it was a country song?
That thing was stuck in my head for like an hour.
Walmart drip.
Until I kid you not, somehow I got the Laverne and Shirley theme in my head, and that saved me.
Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. We're gonna do it.
I chose that in my brain just to get rid of the other thing.
Of all TV show theme songs, you chose Laverne and Shirley?
It was the one that I don't know, it just came to me. I heard a phrase, some phrase from the song that triggered it, and it got rid of that other thing, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I love this. This is great.
Well, I always
fucking
go
better
with,
than
with
fucking
Three's
bullshit.
Company. I will always go with Three's Company if I need to get an earworm.
I haven't heard the Three's Company theme in so long I don't remember it. So.
Come and knock on our door. We'll be waiting for you.
She's an awful person. This is terrible.
Hers and his, Three's Company too.
Welcome to the I Hate Critics 1995 podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. As you can tell, Amy's here.
Hi.
And MJ.
Hello.
You find us on Facebook. Amy kind of changed the name.
It's actually 1995 now.
It's been 1994 for a little bit.
And
halfway through into 95.
It is actually halfway through, isn't it?
Why is it halfway through already?
I know.
I mean, it's closer to getting the Cheeto out of office, but still.
Not even close enough, though.
Time, am I right?
Time. Hey, time.
Time.
Oh,
30 years, in fact, since Batman Forever was released in theaters. Starring Val Kilmer as Batman and Bruce Wayne, the late Val Kilmer.
Late, great Val Kilmer.
Alongside Nicole Kidman as bank manager Chase Meridian.
Oh my God, bank manager Chase Meridian. I almost said the late, great Nicole Kidman. I'm like, God, not everybody's dead from this era.
Chase Meridian, you said it, right? You were the one who observed
I said it.
Was it? Is it you? I couldn't remember.
And then I kept saying, like, every time her name came out, I kept saying Chase Meridian, member FDIC.
and then I just
Then you
kept
just-
saying, I said that she's the daughter of two banks.
Yeah, Chase Meridian.
Chase.
Come on, like no
She's
one's like
the-
when you wrote that, you're like Chase Meridian. That doesn't sound like a bank at all. If anything, it sounds like a credit union. You know?
Her name has more character than she does in
Oh, that's true.
this movie. And of course, Jim Carrey as the Riddler,
Mhm.
aka Edward Nigma or
Edward, stop it.
Enigma.
Stop it.
You get Enigma.
You can't write this shit, but somebody did.
And Tommy Lee Jones as
Two-Face.
Harvey Two-Face.
Yeah, not Harvey Dent. Not just Two-Face.
Well, thankfully, he's Harvey Two-Face and never actually referred to as Harvey Dent because Harvey Dent is a black man named Billy D. Williams.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I wonder if that was what they're going for.
See, that's a problem because there's so many. Like, look at all the comic books that we've ever read, like all the things that we love. And then you have like several different iterations of the same character.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Well, there's a weird thing. You may not know this. I know you're a Marvel fan, MJ, but Samuel L. Jackson was not the first actor to play
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Mm.
Do you know who was? It was David Hasselhoff.
I don't think I fucking knew that.
David Hasselhoff was the first actor to portray Nick Fury in a movie.
Hassle.
It literally called
Baywatches.
Nick Fury.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
Eye patch and everything.
No,
Yes.
no.
I swear to God.
That sounds like a special Halloween
Allison
episode of
Franklin did a
Baywatch.
video on it. It was
Impossible.
absolutely hysterical.
And it's actually Marvel canon?
No, God, no. No, this is, I feel like it happened, it must have happened around the time that Roger Corman made Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
I think it's that weird period where kind of the rights were all over the place,
So anybody can make a
Yeah.
Marvel movie or a DC movie at that point. Jesus.
They made that weird Captain America movie that nobody likes.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
Who was the Captain America in that one?
It was J.D. Salinger's son. The author J.D. Salinger.
I'm familiar. I'm also familiar
his
with
son
No.
played Captain America in a movie.
Wow, I feel like I'm unplugged. I didn't bring my phone out here or my iPad. To be fair, it's a very special Wednesday night recording of our podcast. So I'm not with it because I did take a nap.
Yeah.
So.
So, yeah. You got Drew Barrymore and Dubbing Mazar also appearing in this film because it's an all-star cast. But what you don't have is Tim Burton. You've got Joel Schumacher. And
we have Tim Burton at home.
I was writing today about this movie, and it occurred to me, I think the best metaphor, and I think you'll appreciate this. You're a music person.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like, when like a band has a new lead singer and they're trying to sing the songs that you're so familiar with, hearing Sammy Hagar sing Panama, it doesn't work. That's kind of what we've got here.
Adam Lambert with your "We Will Rock Yous" and things like don't do it. Don't do it.
It doesn't work, right? And Schumacher here is essentially taking over for Burton as the lead singer of Batman.
Yeah,
and it's like all the lyric, he's singing the same song, but it
still a
doesn't
hit.
sound right.
Yeah. Yep. It's those people that went to all the Journey shows after Steve Perry
Oh
left.
yeah.
Because the lead singer, I couldn't believe it sounded just like Steve Perry. No, it didn't. No, it fucking didn't. And by the way, Journey sucked already. So if you're still a Journey fan, fuck off.
Shots fired at Journey.
I get angry when I think about Journey. I'm sorry.
Journey didn't know they were catching strays tonight.
Hey, had you never included yourself on a Glee soundtrack, I would have probably not hated you as much as I do now. Fucking Glee.
But there's so much of this movie, and I know MJ, I want to get to this because you haven't seen the Tim Burton Batman movie.
Or any Batman.
This was the first Batman movie that I had seen.
So you'll have a
Wild.
different perspective on this, but for you and me, this looked a lot like Burton's Batman.
100%.
He's going for all of the same visual style, and his Batman is very, as much as it's not Michael Keaton, obviously, but Kilmer is still facing the same restrictions. He's still got the suit where his head can't move, and he's kind of trapped in the suit, and everybody else is able to emote and be big, and he's got to downplay everything to the point where Kilmer was just miserable making this movie.
This is the burgeoning moment of where the nipples almost made it into this suit. I mean, there's little pennies there, little pennies, but not full nipple. which, as you know, I'm a fan of.
I thought you hated the nipples.
No, I hate the nipples. Like, I was a fan of the fact that we didn't have anything poking out like a turkey. I was fine with that. That made me happy.
Plastic nipples, yay.
Yeah.
Real nipples, nay.
Nay. Put your nipples away. That's what I say. God, look at us rhyming. Look at us.
On fire. So, MJ, your first experience of a Batman movie, what did you think?
It was quite interesting.
Did you enjoy any of it?
Well, the gay.
We love the gay.
The gay was fantastic. Yeah. There was nothing outright gay, but everything was subtextually gay.
We agree.
Every single thing.
What's our favorite? When anyone says the word partner, it's gay.
It's gay or cowboy.
It's gay or cowboy.
Cowboy is also gay.
Also gay.
So
there's always been kind of a homoerotic undertone to Batman and Robin.
I mean, but the creepy thing about that was that, here's Val Kilmer's Batman telling Chris O'Donnell, who, by the way, was one of the hottest commodities on the acting market back then, to do his homework. So was he too old for him?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what they were going for with that. I don't know how old Chris O'Donnell's character is supposed to be.
Like, hey, boy.
Because he looks like he's 25.
We know you're 25. You're definitely on a gambling boat on the weekend. We've seen you.
Yeah. He also rides a motorcycle, so it's not like he's a 16, 15, 14-year-old. He's got a fucking motorcycle.
Look it up what age Chris O'Donnell was when he made this movie, 1995 Batman.
It would be 30 years. Just look up his age right now and minus 30
years. Yeah, but
years.
don't do math, because I'm scared of math people. I can't handle that. I don't like numbers. I couldn't even watch the show Numbers because I didn't like numbers.
I don't even remember how old Burt Ward was supposed to be when he originated Robin.
Burt Ward was I think 40, because Adam West was 50, right? Adam West was always 50. Let's just say it. Let's just say what needs to be said.
He's one of those people who was born age 50 and just
you were always 50. How old?
25.
Yeah.
Boom.
25 years old. Do your homework.
In 1970.
That doesn't make it doesn't make much of any sense.
No.
The relation, first of all, he's 25 years old. He's not like he's supposed to be a ward of the state.
No.
He doesn't need anybody to really take him in. He's this is a grown man. He can move on with his life if he wants to.
But were we supposed to buy that? Because it seems like we were supposed to buy that.
Because again, this is so undercooked.
Yeah.
The idea of Robin is so a marketing part of it. That's really why he was put in here specifically because the studio said add Robin. That's why he's here. And it's so cynical and so,
just throw him in there.
It's so gross, but it's true. That absolutely is what happened. Even if nobody will admit it, that's why the character of Robin was in the movies, because fans want it. And it's again, going back to the analogy about the wrong lead singer, this is the first single from the band with a new lead singer.
Wow.
and it's Robin.
Yeah. That's like when they replaced Stevie Nicks with Becca Bramlett in Fleetwood Mac in 1989. And for those of you that get that reference, you fucking nerd. But it is like that, because it's okay, we know you're not. You're that thing that, that's cute. Good job. You could take that on a nightclub circuit, but don't bring it out here to a fucking arena where I'm showing up to see somebody do cocaine and spin around like a fucking witch. Don't do it wrong.
Yeah, it feels like it's a calculated thing. It's a calculated, like when a band records somebody else's song written for them and not a song that they wrote themselves. I don't think anybody wanted Robin here. I don't think anybody involved had an idea of what to do with him, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just...
not much thought put into that.
No. And they just sort of have him there, and he doesn't really do much.
I have a question, again, nerds. Is his backstory, was he really a trapeze artist? Was his family really and did they always have bad outfits? Did mom sew those?
The Flying Graysons were always part of his backstory, yes.
Flying dicks. I kept calling them Flying Dicks.
His family were always acrobats.
They weren't.
Yes. That's his whole back. Well, no, but it sets up him being able to learn how to learn kung fu and fighting techniques quickly because he's already got an athletic background. He's acrobatic. It makes some sense that he would then become easily teachable when it comes to, learning how to fight like Batman does.
Yeah, you couldn't have like a family of.
Also, like the stretching out of like limbs to flip around.
Okay,
and things
that's
like that
fair.
Makes him more malleable.
Yeah.
That's fair. It wouldn't be like a family of pizza delivery. We've been in the pizza delivery business, not making pizza, just delivering it for 35 years.
We work with this other family that exclusively does pizza making, and then somebody that explicitly does pizza selling.
Your father was a delivery man. Your grandfather was a delivery man. Oh,
you created the weirdest pizza-based dystopia in history.
No one ever thinks of these things, and yet here we are. Here we are. God, can we?
A YA universe where you're born into a very specific part of the pizza industry.
Hey, you know what? If they can make those shitty ass movies on the YouTubes and on the where it's like a wolf and is Luna, then I'm making this fucking movie about family delivery.
You know, the funny thing about this is that there are like games on Roblox where there is one that's just pizza things, and you just do one job of the pizza.
Yeah.
So you can have like a legacy family of pizza delivery artists.
You're
but then
only
the one
person, but you can just keep delivering pizzas all night.
But then there's the one,
and it's just
the one divergent pizza person.
Yeah.
They're born into delivery, but they have an amazing talent for making pizza.
Yes, I'm not you, Dad.
Incredible pizza.
I can't deliver for the rest of my life.
Tries to keep them as a delivery person.
That's your dream, Dad.
You have to live by society's rules, son. You were born delivery. You're gonna stay delivery.
Oh my God, if we don't write about this, it'll never happen. It's like Jimmy Jr. Why can't you just let me dance, Dad? Pizza delivery.
Fine, Dad, I'll tell you. I don't know how to drive.
You're not my son.
Turns out his mom had a fling with a pizza cook. So he's half cook, half delivery.
Oh,
he lives in both worlds.
That's like when Doctor Who came to America and they made the TV show, and then he's like, by the way, my mom's a human. You can't do that. You can't retcon Doctor Who, you motherfuckers. You can't be a pizza delivery son and also be a pizza making son. You better choose.
Have to choose.
You have
and
to
you better not
choose.
let anybody know that you're both.
No.
Because can know.
When you reach your 18th birthday and you have to take the test.
Oh my God. Wait, the delivery test, right?
To see if you're an alpha delivery person or a beta delivery person.
She's my pizza Luna.
And then they find out, oh no, this person is of both worlds. They have to die.
Is there any sort of like physical assault in this? Because I feel like in all of those dumb little ones, it's like he's always slapping the girl he's in love with. Why do they do that? Am I supposed to be in love with you? Because I don't like getting hit.
Well, I mean, some people do, which is weird.
Okay,
but,
if you're signing up for masochism, I'm here for that.
Just like if that's agreed upon,
that has to be in the contract.
The alpha has to hit. That's the way.
Oh my God! Just to be a pizza delivery
Struck
alpha.
by my alpha.
I'm gonna go deliver all 7 of these pizzas tonight. When I come home, I swear to God, if you are in that kitchen making a pizza, you're out on your ass.
Well, our character will fall in love with a pizza maker also. And again, that takes on the Romeo and Juliet vibe on top of everything else.
Okay, but is he from an opposing pack of pizza delivery? Right?
No. The love interest is a girl, and she's actually in the hamburger industry.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Oh shit!
Yeah,
her father will never let her live.
Her family only makes fries.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Dude, a fry-based economy. I'm here for that.
She's only allowed to marry a shake maker.
Oh no! Oh no! This is kind of what it felt like watching Batman, though. Honestly, it kind of was. It kind of was because you're just like everything you got like was whiplash, and like especially with the Harvey Two-Face thing. Can we?
Tommy Lee Jones was just off the rails the entire time.
Yeah, and he didn't like Jim Carrey, dude. You're doing the same fucking role, my friend.
That's weird. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, the Tommy Lee Jones is not. We get his backstory, but only as like a memory that Bruce has, like a flashback that Bruce has. So he starts the movie just being Two-Face and just totally causing chaos, and Batman is responding to something that he's doing, and we're like, we have no, like, we've not been allowed to settle into the universe again. We're not allowed to, like, what is Batman doing, or what is Bruce Wayne up to? Like, what's the backstory for this bad guy that we're going to be? None of that. No. We get that after we get this whole fucking Two-Face thing where he tries to boil Batman with acid. Yeah. And there's this whiny fucking security guard that I wanted just so badly to see him boiled.
Worst actors I have ever seen. I'm sorry, man, but dude.
I like some of that dry delivery.
It was so bad. It was like it was so like trying to be animated, but just sounding like an idiot. Like it didn't make any sense.
When he should say, oh no, he's, oh no. Like, wrong emphasis, sir.
But also, like, he's just crying the entire time. Like, he's just this complete wimp security guard. It's like just clinging to Batman's leg. It's like, and it's not even like they don't even like establish him as a comedy character because he's like a hostage who then his stupidity gets Batman trapped in the vault that's filling with acid that's pulled out of the building and then somehow dropped back into the building in a way that makes no fucking sense from any kind of physics standpoint. Which again, it's comic book physics. It doesn't really matter. I can't really hate it for that, but it still seemed very odd and stupid.
I feel like I watched a different movie because I don't remember that scene.
That was literally the first scene of the movie. It's literally like Batman says he's going to get takeout, like he's going to get drive-through in the Batmobile.
That's right. Yeah,
and then we cut to him, with the Two-Faces robbing a bank and pulling the entire like vault out of the bank with a helicopter or some shit.
Yeah.
Somehow he rigged it to fill with acid at some point.
Yeah, and like what was the point of stealing the vault if he was gonna dump a bunch of acid in there and just destroy everything?
I have no idea. No clue.
I feel like that's just kind of
I really like his whole motivation. Two-Face is killing Batman. So maybe like this whole thing, like he doesn't care what he's stealing. He just wants to kill Batman. Because he blames Batman for what happened to him. He blames Batman for not saving him when he got turned into Two-Face.
Right. He's just a chaotic misanthrope and highly misunderstood.
Uh-oh, Amy's going to tell us how attractive he is.
One side of him has great hair. And I'm going to let you guess which side I'm talking about.
The Tommy Lee Jones side.
Wrong! How about the Two-Face? His hair's kind of floppy. He's got a bit of a pink tinge. I'm here for that.
It was pretty stick-uppy as time went on.
Is that a technical term? Stick-uppy.
I'm very technical in the realm of theater. Stick-uppy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the makeup got progressively worse as time went on. Like it got redder and more unbelievable.
Yeah. Like one of those dogs that has like the weird, like their gums kind of stick out of their mouth on the side. That's the one side of his face that I kept thinking like that's the side that they chew and that the dribble comes out of. I would just say if you want to get a good story about Harvey Dent, watch the first. Is it
The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight. Do that one. Because that one's brilliant.
Aaron Eckhart was absolutely incredible and just, he made that role. But they also give him plenty of time to establish the character, who Harvey Dent is. He gets the biggest line in the movie about
villains.
You either live long enough to become the villain, you either die early or live long enough to become the villain.
One of the greatest lines of all time.
Absolutely. I love that fucking line.
Yep.
It's one of the greatest. But Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones just doesn't have a character. He's just constantly over the top. I mean,
Yeah. He's goofy.
For some reason, like, his psychosis is represented by two different sides of himself, where, like, one side eats like burnt food, and like the crazy side does all this devil stuff, and then the other side does normal shit.
Because like he has the two ladies. He's got Drew Barrymore doing like I made you some poached salmon, and on the other side is Debbie, who like gave him like the devil's penis right here. It's so weird. That's just weird. What were we gonna say about Two-Face? He has the
the IQ of meat.
He has the IQ of meat. And if you know that reference, let us know.
How far down do you think his divisions go on his body? Is it just his head?
Oh, it's his penis, though, too. Could you imagine his two-faced penis?
Oh, God.
Right? I mean, no one thinks about
this. It has
this.
to have split in half.
Ooh, it's kind of like when you make a hot dog and it kind of splits. See, if I weren't on this show, you would never think about that.
This is the Kevin Smith conversation about this movie.
What's Two-Face's dick look like?
Two-Face's dick look like?
I'm thinking about it right now. Because like Harvey Dent.
The two different ass cheeks?
I mean, like one's really taut and one just kind of hangs. That's like a dog's ball. Dog's bollocks.
It looks like Tommy Lee Jones's craggy face.
Oh, God. You could store loose change. Why? Why is he like that? I love you, Tommy Lee Jones. I would take you to bed, but man, I'm also going to store condoms in those fucking cheeks of yours. I say that as a person who has no right to... Because Tommy Lee Jones is pretty fucking hot. I'm just saying.
And an incredible actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was so not anything he had planned to do. He'd worked with Joel Schumacher on, I think, A Time to Kill.
Oh, God, is that his only good movie? Schumacher's?
Maybe.
Because A Time to Kill, I think, is the only movie I like.
He'd worked with Schumacher a couple of times, and Schumacher sent him the script for this and asked him to do it after, like, at the very last second. Like, they were about to start shooting, and they didn't have this role cast. And so he asked Tommy Lee Jones to do it, and Tommy Lee Jones goes, I don't get it. And he said, read it again. And so Jones read it again. He goes, okay, I'll do it.
That's after he got the $3 million paycheck.
I'm sure the paycheck played a role, yes.
The thing is, like, I buy this, and I buy Tommy Lee Jones's acting, but it was still weird. Like, it I don't know. Like,
he's not an actor you associate with being, like, big and crazy and over the top. I mean, I like the character in The Fugitive is funny and kind of odd in a way, but he's not over the top. He's not a broad character. He's not a caricature, and this character is like constantly over the top and like just loud and doing things that you just don't associate with Tommy Lee Jones.
That's true, because he usually gives a very understated performance, and this was far from that.
Yeah. Him and Jim Carrey are trying to scream each other at certain points.
And out-annoy the viewer. And again, don't get me wrong, I love Jim Carrey so much. I really, really do.
Let's get into the Jim Carrey of it all. Jim is, again, Edward Nygma.
Stop saying it.
Nygma.
Because the more you say it, the stupider it sounds.
He's a scientist who works at Wayne Enterprises. He's developed a invention that can read people's minds and can steal their thoughts. Which again, it's kind of unclear what it does.
Yeah,
it shoots things directly into your brain. So
like catch fish that are 3D,
and it's something that could replace TV. Like is the idea.
Okay.
But then it also becomes a thing where he can actually, like, steal people's thoughts, but it doesn't harm them, it seems.
Steal people's, like, intelligence, but then it doesn't take any of their IQ.
Right.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for. Like, when he took Batman's? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can take something from somebody, but they still have it. It's more like, it's kind of like copying or like downloading it also into your brain. Maybe?
Right.
Yeah, so now I can see the advantage of like being able to read other people's thoughts and like know what their secrets are that you can maybe use against them or use to your advantage. I get that to a point, but I thought later on that like he was actually stealing people's brains and like going to have their, you know, like they were going to be sucked dry. Like I thought Ed Begley Jr., and I've seen this movie before.
Was that him? I thought that was him.
Ed Begley Jr. plays his like direct supervisor in the movie. If you could play with those things, can you take the plastic off?
Yeah, I just was. Because I'm like, there's probably like in the mic right now.
Really just take the plastic off and you can play with them all you want.
Spoons! Go ahead.
Ed Begley Jr. is his direct like supervisor at Wayne Enterprises, and he like kidnaps him and like holds him hostage, and I thought he was going to like drain his thoughts into his head and like leave him as like this empty husk, like kind of like how Jack Palance died in the original Batman. Like, you know, just like he was just like Joker like takes like just destroys him completely and leaves just nothing but his bones there.
Oh, I remember that.
And I thought that'd be cool. He's gonna like suck him dry, like all of his intelligence out of his head, and then he's just gonna be this empty shell. But he just comes out of that and he's just fine, and then he has to kill him a different way.
Yeah. Doesn't he throw him out the window?
Yeah, he throws him out the window.
How did he manipulate that video to make it look like he ran out the window?
They totally skipped over that. They did not explain that.
Thank you, because I thought that was a plot hole. Like, okay, did I miss that part?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Never explained it.
No, he just hacked the security cameras and pretended, I guess, that's what happened.
Because it just looks like he's literally, maybe he like removed himself. Because it looks like he's literally like, he's walking to the window and throwing himself out.
I don't know exactly. Like I said, it doesn't explain it, so I don't really know how he was supposed to have done it. But they just wanted that expediently done. It's like, why not just have him kill him when he's got the box on his head?
Right.
It sets some stakes for what the box might be able to do to the people of Gotham and what Batman has to stop him from doing. Like that would make a lot more sense to me, but. This movie is not about making sense.
No.
So he's a nerdy character, Edward Nygma, and then he becomes the Riddler. And as the Riddler, he wants to team up with Two-Face so that he can find the capital he needs to build boxes and put them in every home in Gotham so that he can steal people's thoughts. And that's essentially the second part of the movie. And it's like, again, none of this is really necessary. Like the change in character from Edward Nygma to the Riddler is kind of nonsense.
It's unearned too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, because you have to remember at the beginning of this film, Bruce Wayne's basically saying, you know, just send me your specs. I'll consider this idea. It's cool, but like, then he's like, no, I need an answer now. He's like, well, you're not going to fucking get one. Okay, that's not enough to piss somebody off.
No, it really isn't.
No, because to me, it'd be like, all right, I'm going to refine it. Have it all, have the data, and then send it to him because odds are he probably would do something with it.
Yeah.
Why he needed an answer right then was weird to me.
But also, like, the character just doesn't, like, when he becomes the Riddler, like, he doesn't retain any of the characteristics of Edward Nygma, and there's no explanation as to why. Like, now he's got pink hair and a green suit, and and he's very forward and flirty and, you know, comical, whereas Edward Nygma was kind of this nerdy dork. And I don't think
I would have slept with.
Don't think they established, where that turn came from. And then when he has like his Edward Nygma moment where he's like, he has the box and he's established as a millionaire himself as an industrialist, and suddenly he's super cool Jim Carrey in his suit.
Yeah.
Where did this part come from?
I do love
why does Bruce Wayne not recognize how strange this is?
Well, that seems par for the course for Bruce Wayne, though, in these movies. It's
just like, really very upset.
I just like, I don't get it. Like, French and Saunders did a great send-up of Batman and Robin. The whole thing of just kind of how dense, like how long it takes Bruce to be like, gee, this seems like a problem. But I do like that moment where Jim Carrey, he asks, or Nygma actually asks, hey, is my mole on right? Because he has a little Val Kilmer mole on the side of his. I'm like, that's perfect. I love that. It's those little moments, but again, that's so Jim Carrey. That's like throwing those little moments in there that I think are really great. There just weren't enough of them.
So this wasn't supposed to be Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was not the first choice for this.
Huh.
I think you told me this.
Robin Williams was supposed to be the Riddler.
As Mrs. Doubtfire? Because we all have to put our foot down to that.
Ooh.
we're all saying no to that.
It came down to money. There just wasn't enough money to go around, and yeah.
Well, that's true because Carrey's kind of his star's on a rise at this point. We've got Dumb and Dumber, we've already done those. So I guess, but it wouldn't, not that, it just wouldn't be the same, this is a classic film, but it really wouldn't without Jim Carrey. I just think he should have had a Riddler movie on his own. His personality, just the what's the word? The pliability, the way that he moves. It's a great character for him.
I don't know why. I don't know what it was about them saying we need two villains to go in a Batman movie. Like, because they Catwoman. Catwoman. First of all, Catwoman wasn't necessarily a villain. Like, she's part of Batman's legendary rogues gallery, but she was she was a cat burglar.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Hence the
Catwoman. But Michelle Pfeiffer is kind of like in wrestling we call it a tweener. That's a person who's not a baby face but not a heel. She's right down the middle. She could go either way. She still could be a good person and be Batman's partner.
Right.
And so you're not necessarily talking about two villains in Batman Returns, but some reason they're no, that worked with two villains. We need two villains for this movie. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Go with one or the other. And if I'm going to go with one, just have it be Jim Carrey. Have it be the Riddler.
Yeah.
And let him just go crazy and, build this character as opposed to having to stop and establish things about what Harvey Dent is doing or Two-Face is doing. There's too much there. They're playing them so similarly that neither one feels essential. Like you could do it with one or the other.
But that, to me, that says a lot about, especially about the 90s. It's nope, make it bigger. Nope, make it bigger. Throw more money at it, make it bigger. And that's where everything's lost in translation. Because you start throwing a shit ton of money, too many stars in something. I don't know, but the rest, we all just kind of sat here. I know at one point, all of us dissociated for a little bit. We're I don't know what we're supposed to be feeling right now. Let's just look at our phones. You know what I mean? And that's definitely not what I remember seeing this in the theater and going, that was really good. And I'm watching it the other day. I'm that did not hold up. And I guess I think for me, I'm probably thinking more because I remember Drew in this movie. I remember Carrey. I remember really liking it, but I think we're not to Poison Ivy yet. So that's, and we've got so much more to go. So once we get there, it's going to be then
it's going to get super weird. But
super weird.
I'm honestly wondering if that'll be a better, more interesting movie than this. Honestly.
I feel and you, just Uma herself, she's just so charismatic. Anyway, I think she'll be great. But soundtrack. Again, one of the biggest soundtracks of the decade was this film.
Kiss from a Rose.
You have U2's Hold Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, Fuck Me. Flaming Lips is on there, Offspring. It's a huge.
That was one of the best.
That Flaming Lips moment,
yeah.
That really described.
That felt like that could have been the thesis statement of a Riddler. Versus Batman one-on-one movie.
Yeah, that was a well-used song for this film.
And again, completely different from everything else in the movie.
100%.
And if you'd leaned into that instead of having, I just don't think Two-Face was needed. I don't think Tommy Lee Jones was needed.
Also, Kiss from a Rose, we never heard it.
No, really, it didn't, yeah.
Did it come on after? Because U2's song was at the very end, during the credits. But Kiss from a Rose, they build it, and they have the whole big video for it, and you don't even fucking hear it in the movie.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird. I'll have to think about that. Just think about that.
It's a good soundtrack though, but again, it feels like a soundtrack that was assembled without having anything to do with the movie.
Again, if it's Schumacher, then it's hey, I'll throw you guys some money. Just throw me some songs.
Yeah, and it's the studio going, well, we need a hit record to go with this. Obviously, what's going to be a hit movie.
And it's going to be, obviously, U2 is going to be the major hit from it, which it was. And it's a great song. It's still a great fucking song. And the minute it started, we did shut it off because we're okay, we're kind of done with this movie. But it's the minute it started, I'm oh, I need to go listen to that again because that's a great fucking song.
So it's tangent time. I'm going to go we're going to go into our usual tangents here for just a moment. I watched a documentary this week called, it was a documentary about Simple Minds, the band Simple Minds.
I know all about Simple Minds.
I didn't know the story behind "Don't You Forget About Me." I was not aware. I thought that this was like one of their songs that they sweated over and really put something into, and it mattered to them. And then I'm watching the story, and like they just wanted a hit song, and somebody wrote this for the Breakfast Club, and like Billy Idol turned it down, and Corey Hart turned it down, and Brian Ferry couldn't do it because Roxy Music was recording a record, and they're like, what about Molly Ringwald goes like, well, what about Simple Minds? And they're like, we don't really want to do this, but I mean, I guess we'll take a look at it and we'll do it, and I don't know, maybe we'll rewrite it or something. Then all they did was add "Hey, Hey, Hey." Then they added the drum break at the end, and then they added "La La La," and everything else was just already there.
Wow.
Like this song, which is like a huge part of the 80s, was just completely tossed off. Simple Minds could not give a fuck about this song.
And it's like the song.
Like when you think of the 80s, you think of "Don't You Forget About Me." And it's like they could not have cared less.
That's something.
Just totally ruins it. And like, that's what brings me back to Kiss from a Rose. Like, what does Kiss from a Rose have to do with anything in this movie? It's like nothing. But they wanted Seal, who had a bunch of hit songs at the time, who was hot at the time, to be on the soundtrack to help them sell records. So there's just nothing organic about this. Like, it doesn't feel like this is anything that anybody cared about.
Yeah.
It was something that they were contractually required to create, and now it exists.
Well,
yeah.
That was the other thing about the film, though, too, is that we're trying to build this relationship between the bank, Chase Meridian, and Batman, which, okay. But again, it's like, this is the first time he's ever been in love. And we're trying to throw in, like, to me, that's a half-baked kind of love story. I didn't buy it.
No.
And then, again, you can't have Kiss from a Rose. Like, people would hear that song, see the video, and go, oh, Batman's in love this time. That's not how that works.
First of all, Batman was in love with Catwoman. He has been in love before. That was a love story.
He just fucked Vicky Vale. I did look that up. There wasn't major love there.
Growth. There was growing thing, and they just couldn't finish it together.
Yeah.
But they had chemistry too. But like, no, he was in love with Catwoman. He was in love with Michelle Pfeiffer, and Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer were incredible together.
Oh, excellent.
So this is not like Batman is not familiar with emotions. But the issue here with Nicole Kidman, with the Mrs. Bank, is
Mrs. Bank. Remember FDIC.
Mrs. Line of Credit. Chase Meridian Credit.
5.0 APR financing.
She doesn't have a character.
No.
Her entire character.
It's basically just, oh, Batman's hot.
I want to fuck Batman.
Bruce Wayne's hot.
Now I want to fuck Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Literally, that was her entire personality, was wanting to fuck either Bruce Wayne or Batman.
Which is hilarious because the French and Saunders thing that they did, because they totally did a whole send-up of this, they had Patsy Kensit, who is another Australian actress at the time that was really popular, had her playing the Nicole Kidman character and just showing up in a black nightie everywhere. It was perfect.
Was her name Wells Fargo?
It was. God, that's a great name. I should have a bank called Wells Fargo. You can't think of like the worst bank names, though.
Let me ask you this: as two people who just watched this movie, were you aware that Chase Meridian was one of the world's foremost criminal psychologists?
Nope.
No.
That's literally her character background.
She's
in Gotham City
kind of talking about
specifically because she's one of the world's foremost criminal psychologists.
But see, there was a moment where I was like, oh, I forgot she was some kind of therapist or something. But that was the only thing that I registered, and then my brain kept going back to, I feel like she should be a journalist.
That's what we all thought.
Like she should be a and it just kept going back to
Yeah.
Well, we give her a reason at least to be following Batman around as much as she does, and like
no, she just wants to fuck him. Like from
the
moment one.
She uses the bat signal to call him because she wants a booty call via the bat signal.
Black nightie under a jacket. It's like, bitch.
And then this other guy shows up. He's like, "What's the bat signal for?"
She's like,
"What did she think? Did she think no one else was going to show up when she did that?"
Yeah, be awesome if Ted Batman showed up. I thought that was for me.
We literally only use this when the city is in desperate peril of pure destruction.
Ted Batman, the plumber. You need an instant plumber. Call Ted Batman.
Why has no one done that?
I know. Why is Ted Batman never getting his own movie? That's the problem. Ted Batman, plumber.
He needs to be like a third lead in our dystopia science fiction. That poor family that lives underground.
The Batmans.
They live
Not
underground.
the
Batmans. You're either a plumber or you make toilets.
You can't be both.
You can't be that.
No.
And you can't, never the twain shall meet
Yeah.
either. Ted Batman. Oh, all of our ideas are better than this movie.
And it gets worse because like the behind the scenes of Batman Forever is more interesting than the movie.
That's true.
So the behind the scenes thing, the thing that everyone talks about is the Jim Carrey Tommy Lee Jones relationship. Tommy
Right.
Lee Jones hates Jim Carrey to this day.
To this day?
He still holds a grudge.
Get some therapy,
Jim Carrey
man.
saw him at a restaurant and like he was eating at a restaurant and a waiter came over to Jim Carrey and said, "Hey, Tommy Lee Jones is here." So Carrey went over to say hello and be polite and Jones was like a total prick to him in public. like, dude, let it go.
Yeah, you need therapy, my friend. I'm sorry, if Jim Carrey wanted to come over and say hello to me, I'd have him sit on my lap. I fucking love him.
It's weird because, like, you would think, like, Jim Carrey's probably the troublemaker. Like, you would understand, like, he's going off script. He's flying all over the place. And,
Yeah.
and that can be hard for actors who are, very strict about, how they work. It seems to me Tommy Lee Jones picked this fight and stayed in this fight well after everything ended.
And kept the corn cob straight up his ass the entire time.
Because he's essentially delivering the same performance that Carrey is.
Yeah.
He is screaming and all over the place and whatnot, just what Carrey's doing. So I don't understand where he gets off saying later that I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Which is a great fucking line.
Actual Tommy Lee Jones quote. Everyone loves this quote. You should love this quote because it's a great quote. Him telling Jim Carrey on the set, I cannot sanction your buffoonery, because Jim's going all over the place and he's trying to, I guess, stick to the script, I guess.
I kept trying to think of that the other day because Sean keeps saying that every time I come out of my room, I need a bell so like he can hear me coming into the kitchen. And I was going to say that to him. Like, what was that fucking line? And I wasn't about to ask you what it was, because then you would have known that that's what I was going to say. I cannot sanction your buffoonery. And now I know. But again, that should be on a shirt.
It's great.
Wear that to a Trump rally.
I cannot sanction your
I cannot
buffoonery.
sanction your buffoonery. You dumb fucking idiot.
I'll make that into a GIF.
Do it.
Oddly enough, Tommy Lee Jones, dedicated Democrat. He actually was Al Gore's roommate in college.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's no Fred Thompson. He never will be a Fred Thompson. God damn it. Okay, just again, and probably not you so much because you didn't have enough time with him, but it did kind of make me sad to see Val Kilmer, because it's like, this was like a heyday for him. This was like, he was still in his Val Kilmeriest.
Prior to him, when he had, I guess, a stroke and then cancer. He really wanted to be Batman. He really wanted this. He was a fan for years. There's a documentary called Val. If you haven't seen it, it's all about his life, and his son narrates it. It's very beautiful. Because at the time he couldn't speak anymore.
Right. That's heartbreaking.
So he had his son, do his voiceover for his documentary, and it was very beautiful. But he really was a huge fan of Batman, and this was a dream come true for him to get this role. And then he gets on set, and they put him in the suit, and he can't move, and he can't emote, and then you've got Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones are doing whatever they're doing, just
running
completely
circles
over the top.
around him. Yeah.
Nicole Kidman is playing like just this over the top like vamp character, like she's just constantly just being sexy, and he's just he can't do anything because he can't turn his head. He can't
he's like wallpaper in this movie. Again, it's like, I think he's great, and he could have been a really good Batman. It just, you have too much shit, too much chaos.
There's too many, Again, you remove one of the villains and give him more time where he can, we reestablish why he's connected to Dick Grayson, or you establish why he might find Chase Bank to be the true love of his life, which no, absolutely not. That is not established in this movie at all.
No.
Their relationship has no anything other than her lust for him.
We're not invested in that whatsoever.
That's the thing. Is like it's a good idea. The idea of a love triangle between Bruce Wayne, Batman, and a woman is a good idea. And it worked like in Spider-Man with like Kirsten Dunst, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. Like she's kind of in a triangle with both of them because she doesn't know he's Spider-Man. Like they did that pretty well, and they had this idea that will create this love triangle between Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Chase Bank, and it just doesn't. It just never works. It doesn't come together because Batman has no like outward expression of sexuality whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, honestly, he seems like he does not want to be in.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want any of that. He doesn't want a girl at all.
No, he wants a man.
You know what I want? He wants a boy ward.
He wants a boy ward
to live in his home with him.
He wants a pet. Just say it.
Actually, I wonder if like with that rubber suit, like he can't move his neck. I wonder if it's like painful for him to get hard in that suit, and that's why he doesn't. He's giant dick. Batman, like Val Kilmer's got this giant dick, and he can't like. And if he's in the suit, he gets hard. It fucking hurts like hell.
I think about the Family Guy episode where they're all wearing the Knights suits, like the heavy metal, and like everybody gets a hard on, so they all go ding, 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 and then it gets down to what's his name, and he goes ding. Why do I always find a Family Guy reference to every one of these movies?
I don't know.
I haven't watched it in fucking ages, but there's always a reference.
That's a great gag, though.
It is. It really is. Ding. Love that.
Was that Mort?
Yeah. I got some down at the pharmacy. I'll get it for you.
Amy, were any of these actors on Murder, She Wrote?
Yes.
We'll wait for you to come back, and you can do your bit.
I was gonna go get my iPad because I forgot.
All right, you go do
I
that.
had them
MJ, were any of these characters on Murder, She Wrote?
Yes, I think that all of them.
They were all on episodes of Murder. Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Jim Carrey did 42 episodes.
He was busy doing the Duck Factory when this was on. All right, hang on.
So,
I did cross.
does this make you interested at all in seeing any other Batman movies?
Perhaps.
Dark Knight. You'd fucking love The Dark Knight.
I bet you would. The Dark Knight is very, very, very cool.
Very
It is
cool.
an incredibly cool movie. And Christian Bale is really the best Batman, I would say. Although Pattinson is really good.
Is he?
I gotta say, I love Pattinson as Batman.
See, one of my coworkers said he really liked that movie. Like he thought that was really good. And I was gonna watch that one at some point, but I don't know when I'll do that. But I also get very attached. I got a thing about watching multiple people play the same character. I don't like it. I like the one person to play the one character. Like, I'm never going to think of The Flash as anybody other than Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Like, it just won't it won't.
For me now, after seeing Flash, it won't work either.
No, and yeah, like I can't interchange things. Not with Marvel either. Like Chris Evans always going to be Captain America. Tony Stark always.
I was gonna mean RDJ. Yeah.
Like I don't like change. I really don't.
I feel like we get used to this as kids because, like, on big TV shows when we were like in the 80s, they would constantly just flat out, like, you'd get going so far back as like the 60s. Like, there was this show Bewitched, where she's like she's a witch. The main character's a witch, and she's married to this doofusy guy. And like the third season, just this new guy shows up. Like, it was this guy, Dick Sargent, this actor, Dick Sargent, and he's there and he's doing his thing. And then season 3 starts and this guy, Dick York, is there now, but he's the same character. He's her husband. He's all responding in the same way that the previous guy did, but he's playing the same character, but it's a completely different guy. And the show just goes on without explaining it.
That drives me up the wall. I hate when they do that. I wish that most of the time I'm just like, nope, just kill off the character. Just be done.
Just do that.
I'm so like there was Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
One of the kids left. One of the two sons of Superman and one of them left, and there's a new guy in there, and I'm like, nope, I haven't watched it since they changed it because I don't like it when they do that. Like, I just don't.
It's not, well, that's why I feel like, you know, a lot of people, like Sean and I's generation, feel abandoned and gaslit because they wanted us to believe that Dick York and Dick Sargent were the same fucking people. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. So
it's so like today I don't think you can do it today. Like, could you imagine like if Jim Parsons had left Big Bang Theory in season 5 and they still kept on till season 13, but they had somebody else playing Sheldon?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That could never work. Like, that could never work.
No.
There's just a different Indian guy playing Raj.
no,
And everybody just calls him Raj, and he has all of the same characteristics. And
No.
you know, back, oddly enough, like in the 50s and probably more the 60s, on soap operas, you would tune in and you'd be watching, and all of a sudden, right before it would start, they'd say the role of is played by. So your favorite character that played your favorite, you know, or favorite actor playing your favorite character, if they were sick, they just have somebody else fill in. Joan Crawford was an actress, huge actress, right? So she's like in her like late 40s, early 50s or whatever, did a soap opera and was trying to play like a 30-something. And they had her come as like a guest playing a character that's already been established and she's clearly over 50. Like, when they do shit like that, you're gaslighting us. You're making us feel stupid. P.S. Pat Hingle, major Murder, She Wrote player, played Commissioner Gordon.
Yes, indeed. Is that the only one?
If I go further, I'm sure I'm going to find some bit players, but Pat Hingle's a pretty big deal.
Pat Hingle is a pretty big deal.
Pretty big
obviously.
deal. Yeah.
And look at MJ's reaction. Obviously, they didn't.
You're a big fan of Pat Hingle. I mean, we've talked about him many, many times.
Yes.
So-
These conversations happen very
You know what? I'm sorry, but 1995, we've not talked about Pat Hingle enough, in my opinion, but that's just me. But I know for a fact in the last 2 years that we've been doing this podcast, you've seen Pat Hingle in other movies that we've done. You just wouldn't be able to.
He's a chameleon, and I mean that. He's been in so many movies where it's just like, oh, wait, I know that guy. He's one of those guy actors.
Yeah, you're like, yep, he's.
I can recognize the face.
Well, he's white.
Yeah.
You know, he's white.
He's an old white man.
That's
that is how that works.
Well, I was thinking about this because I'm watching an episode of Murder, She Wrote earlier when I got home, and I've decided that the problem is, I thought my entire childhood, every white guy on a TV show was played by Larry Wilcox. And it's weird because honestly, right? Like, Larry Wilcox, he was in like Hardee's commercials, he was in everything when we were little kids. So as I got older, I'm like, oh, there he is again. I wanted to call him Daddy because he was in everything I saw. He was the only real adult man that was consistent in my life, Larry Wilcox.
Imagine like the character they give you in The Sims, like the default male character. Until you like change their hair and then you change their clothes.
Yeah.
It just starts off as Larry Wilcox.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that would be like, my first thought is Don Lothario.
100%. 100% Don Lothario. Yeah, that's Larry Wilcox. And he's in everything. And it's not that he's bad. He's fine. It's just, he's everywhere, you know?
Like, he's just so bland that you can slip him into anything and no one would notice.
Larry,
if he was
talented.
Dick Sargent, you wouldn't even have noticed the difference.
Just because they're both named Dick doesn't mean I want them both. One's York, one's a sergeant.
Yeah.
One's military.
By the way, I do have to point out, Mo Rocca on his podcast, Mobituaries, did an amazing piece on Dick York, Dick Sargent.
Did he really?
That I highly recommend, where he talks about the greatness of one of them. I can't remember which one now off the top of my head. He was praising one of them as being a genius, and then the other one's like, why do we remember this guy?
Well, you have one gay and one straight, too. Which, again, I'll take my dick any way I can get it. I'll be honest with you. York or Sargent.
So we're not big fans of Batman Forever.
How do you feel?
No. No. I mean, it was all right.
it's a mark for you. I notice with these films is that if you look down at your phone, I can tell you're not interested. Like I can already tell you're bored. So, and you definitely look down a lot.
Yeah, I played the cake game for a little while.
Yeah, I played my Merge Gardens for a while too.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, I was paying attention, but it was like...
Yeah, because some things would grab your attention with this movie, just
Like
not
the
enough.
very sparkly suit.
Oh, that really got all around Jim Carrey's baby Jim Carrey. I couldn't look away.
One of the gayest suits I've ever seen in my life.
They use the word partner in this a lot too, and Fuzzy and I, like, the minute you say partner, gay. Gay.
Him and Two-Face were
So gay.
They were partners.
And he was just like, and
this is a bit of a whiplash just for people like from our generation because we used to use gay as an insult. But this is not insulting. This is actually
this
praise.
Is wonderful.
This is praiseworthy.
Yeah.
This is now praise.
Just in time for Pride, Batman.
When we talk about something being gay or a gateway to gay, or
it's awesome.
We're saying that that's great.
Yeah.
We love this.
Yeah.
Yes, and we should clarify that because people can't see me, so
you're just walking.
But also,
gay.
like, again, if you're my age, like we used to say horrible things about gay people.
Oh my god, that's so gay.
Exactly. I love that. That's come 30 years and that's come all the way around. It's wonderful.
I think it's awesome as long as that's one word that you don't ever get to use again.
Yeah,
ever.
Let that one go away.
But gay's awesome.
So I'm going to give you an option for next week. I think I know what the answer is going to be. But I hope I know what the answer is going to be. But there are two movies. We're not going to do Pocahontas. We don't do animated movies on this show.
Especially not Pocahontas.
We're not going to do that.
Wait, we don't bring Mel Gibson on this show.
Awkward anyway. But
yeah.
No, there's a wonderful film, one of Todd Haynes' first films with Julianne Moore called Safe that is really fascinating,
I love Safe.
Well-made drama.
Yeah.
But we do have, like, if you're somebody who has to see everything of a franchise, I'm not sure that we could walk past Leprechaun 3.
After your Thomas Kincaid painting of the original?
Which I hope you'll put up on the Facebook page.
Oh, trust me, it's coming. It's coming. It's already hung on the tree. So, yeah.
I used AI to create a Thomas Kincaid Leprechaun.
And if you're not part of the lore, you need to go back and listen to Bridges of Madison County to get our Thomas Kincaid.
Yeah.
But he's now a fixture.
He's now a permanent character on the show.
He's our patron saint.
Right next to the tumbling grandpa from
Remains of the Day.
I feel like that should be posted on the Facebook as well, but my specific version.
It has to be your
over the dolphin penis
with,
getting
with Nelson. That's one of the greatest things you've ever created. And you haven't even had children yet. No. So I'm really, really proud of you. Really proud of you.
Again, now you have to put these things on the Facebook
We're
page
going
so
to.
people
We're going to
can
get it up
follow
there.
Along.
Well, and then again, too, I'm really hoping that we can get away from Facebook because we're not 100 years old. So
it's just the option that we have at the moment.
It's working right now, but trust me, we're working on something bigger, better, bolder, brighter.
So, Leprechaun 3 next week?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leprechaun 3.